Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming again with a new topic that already exists, but the way it is explained is a little bit more, let's say, kind of uh, um, different than what I'm going to explain to you today in my video. So, keep in touch and stay tuned. This is my new video. So, today, let me talk to you about how to create a company within 24 hours. Yes, 24 hours, a whole company. So, my channel, as you know, always focus on what we can call explaining, but not only explaining, just giving ideas that might help entrepreneurs to start over and over and succeed, especially and reach the top. Since the beginning is hard for everyone, but staying stable at the top is something that I can call, let's say, being productive. With low costs or high costs doesn't matter, but what matters the most is being or existing in the market and uh, being like notably known or well known in the market as a brand or as a company, um, or being well reputed in the market. That's the most important. So, as an entrepreneur, your mentality should be different than others, which means that every day you can consider it as an opportunity. Every day is a new day for you to give more, to be productive more, and especially to be different than the others. Every single day for you is a new beginning. And of course, to succeed in a day or in a single day, you must strip away all the non essential tasks. And of course, being committed in order to build a maximum viable product, which means that you can absolutely create and build or launch your company in 24 hours by focusing strictly on validating your idea first and then securing your first customer rather than being obsessed over legal perfection or the coding or complex codings or expensive logos, or as we said in the last video, some expensive courses or trainings that are absolutely let's say a waste of time. So don't waste your time in this and um, stay tuned. So here is your map to follow in order to be successful and productive. So in the beginning, the first to the fourth hour are specially, um, let's say, focused or aimed for the concept and offering a definition. So the definition of what exactly? Here we can talk about criticism. You have to be more critical in order to reach what we can say success, and identifying a critical problem. That's what an entrepreneur must do. I mean, um, an entrepreneur must choose a problem or a let's say a question that um, he has personally experienced or some of his family is experiencing, or I mean something that he can solve for others. So the meaning of others is something that is let's say very more than interesting, but valuable. And of course, after defining the problem comes defining the core offer. Here, the entrepreneur must write hyper specific. or a sentence that will value his proposition in details, of course, to what he is exactly aiming to sell and who it is for and how to solve this issue. After that, you can pick a name simply. I mean, here, do not really overthink about the name, neither, let's say, the logo or things like that for your brand. Just a simple name and check the domain immediately that is available, and most importantly that must be understood by others and felt by others. That will make others overwhelmed by your company without really thinking or without let's say given a lot of time in order to think if we can really buy or not. So that's the tip here. So you can easily choose a name that is close to others' heart, and of course that will. After that, the fifth and the 8 hours are for the technical side of your project or your company. So here comes what we can call the no-code digital setup. I mean, here things must be a little bit technical, but it's easy. Like you don't need really to complicate things in order to make it happen. 5 and 8 hours are usually dedicated for what we can call the technical side of your project. Every company needs to be technically driven. This part is called the no code digital setup. So, for your company or your brand, you must define or you must um, uh, purchase a basic domain that must be like in alignment with your own um, company, but also with the market. So, like to exist um, to exist in a powerful way in the market, you must choose very specifically your domain, since it is your the basic or your let's say good reputation in the market simply, without complicating this step. And always in the technical part, your company must have a website or what we can call a landing page that will, let's say, technologically be in alignment in the market. Here, the case is simple. I mean, do not write complex codes or get disturbed by more complicated phases. All you have to need is to use some very prompt tools or the drop and drop, let's say, websites, builders in order to construct a clean one page website. And here I advise you to use an app called Hostinger AI, or let's say Canva. Canva is also so useful in this area. And always in the technical part, your company must have a website or what we can call a landing page that will, let's say, technologically be in alignment in the market. Here, the case is simple. I mean, do not write complex codes or get disturbed by more complicated phases. All you have to need is to use some very prompt tools or the drop and drop, let's say, websites, builders in order to construct a clean one page website. And here I advise you to use an app called Hostinger AI, or let's say Canva. Canva is also so useful in this area. And to make it more simple, we have to set up a payment link. Here, we have to integrate some frictionless checkout options using, let's say, Stripe or PayPal or whatever actually the financial tool that you choose um, to use in your website page so that you can be ready to capture revenue immediately as an entrepreneur, of course. After that, the ninth and the 14th hours must be, let's say, specifically aimed for the marketing. I mean, marketing is an option that every entrepreneur needs in order to grow up his own project. So for that, he got to choose what we can say the marketing collateral and the outreach strategy. So here, the research and development must be within the company, the business, or the firm in order to be much more productive. So, I will tell you here the most interesting types for you as an entrepreneur to succeed in this area. After defining your niche, you have to create and draft some standard copy. A standard copy means to prepare a document that will contain all your service descriptions or your product, let's say, descriptions to inform your customers exactly about what are you selling. So for that, you have to create a lead magnet in order to build a short or valuable free resources such as a checklist or a mini guide to send, of course, emails or to collect prospect email addresses. So that's the most interesting part. After that, of course, comes the draft standard copy. And like that, as an entrepreneur, you map out target channels in order to identify where you exactly target your audience naturally in order to hang out online or whether it's on one of the different websites as a specific niche for you. The 15th and the 20th hours. Here comes the network. Well, the network is something that all entrepreneurs must be committed with and must have in order to make their company or their project most successful. I mean, the network is a very valuable asset um, that um, uh, helps the entrepreneur to grow his company very fast and to succeed in his market. So, as an entrepreneur, in this step, you have to send personalized messages to your network. I mean, pitch your network in order to clearly state your solution and offer them your product. Um, for example, through the early bird discounts. So, in this step, you have to launch on community platforms and, of course, to validate with cash. After that, in the 21st and the 24th hours, you have as an entrepreneur to be focused more on communications and your legal baseline. So that's the most interesting part for your project. So the first thing you have to do as an entrepreneur here in this step is to create a professional email or let's say an address that must be specifically dedicated for you. After that, you can file a basic registration. And after that, you have to open a business account. I mean, an account that must be personal and that, of course, separates between personal, I mean, your personal financial account and your business financial account. So they must be strictly separated from day one in order to initialize a business specific banking layer. So um, here are the most interesting steps to follow in order to make your company um, more productive or to launch your company from day one.